to the WebSummit pitch stage, our first one, PeachWeb. PeachWeb, come on out. You can give a huge round of applause for PeachWeb.
Hello, hello.
There you go.
Hey, everyone. Hey, judges. Shall we start? So back in the day, my granddad opened his first shoe store in Amsterdam. And there was something wild, literally wild, when you walked into the store. There was a baby lion inside. So it wasn't a shop, it was an experience. And that's how I see the web. I'm Lucas Pohlman from PeachWeb, and we're building the creative engine for the future of the web, where you can get your dream, award-winning 3D website in minutes and bring the much-needed experience to the web. Because the flat web is in trouble, it's always been a place for information, and now the agentic web is a better place for information. So what does the web do? What do 27 million web designers do? They need to evolve. And this evolution has been happening since 2021, when 3D got supported on all browsers. Now there are 2 million 3D web designers, and that will be 50% by 2029. And we're making the web a place for visual storytelling, online brand presence, and experience. But the problem has always been the build time. It's always taken months and weeks to make 3D. And there's a complicated process. And we're reducing that build time from months to minutes. And we've been building the first AI-powered 3D web builder. And we want to make the building experience like building your favorite Lego, where you have a 3D library, UI library, and AI does all the heavy lifting and remixing for you, and there's limitless possibilities to express your creativity. It's free to use. Once you make your website on Peach, we charge $299 to access the website, and we host for $29 per month to $129 per month. So we are on the premium side. For the first time, people can get an award-winning website, and this is literally pennies on the dollar for this type of quality. So where are we today? We launched our beta at the start of the year. We won Best No-Code Website for 4 months in a row, beating Wix, Framer, Webflow. We constantly get featured on design media, and through that, we've got 11,000 organic users. We've had 2,000 websites made, but the build time was 2 weeks, which was too long. We know that. So we've been working on PeachMagic, which is our AI release, where we're going to reduce the build time to minutes, and we expect to 10x our metrics in the first year to get to 137,000 users, 30,000 websites, and 6,000 subscriptions, which is going to be 180,000 monthly recurring revenue in the first year.
10 seconds.
We're raising 750,000 to hit these metrics. We have our existing VCs committed. Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Round of applause. So he's got a couple slides left there, but he can fill those out during the questions if there's anything he didn't get to say to you. So judges, to you.
How are you acquiring customers?
So our main one is that we're winning design awards. So on design and media, such as awards.com and Musely, they have millions of designers and founders looking for the best websites. And there we are, PeachWeb, award-winning website, made without code. And that's how we get our main. We also did LinkedIn campaigns. Our CPA is around $3 there. And the better the website, the better the visuals, the better it's product-led marketing. It's very similar to how sort of Lovable is growing. These are viral apps. We're going to make viral websites that it's now possible to do.
What makes you special versus the other website builders?
That is the underlying technology that we're using, which is WebGL. It's a new web's graphic library, and it allows for AAA quality visuals, interactions, animations. It allows you to go beyond the flat web into a much more of a visual experience, storytelling medium. People know when you're on a 3D website. It's that feeling. They're like, wow, this is different.
So I want to ask you, I've seen a lot of websites that do the same thing, and the most notable one is Lovable. What are you doing to set up to distinguish yourself from the other competitors?
With all due respect to Lovable, and they're a massive success, but the websites look like 2010, and we are making websites that look like 2030.
And one last thing, do you have any plan for fundraising? Have you raised any funds so far?
Yeah, so I have 4 VCs. We've raised 1.3 million previously, which allowed us to get to beta and for this new launch. We're raising 750,000 now. We have 250,000 committed. We're also self-sustainable. We have enterprise revenue, so we have unlimited runway. We're just going to put all that money into marketing for our release.
Right. One last thing, I'd like to invite you to apply to our program, startupqatar.qa, where we can fund up to $5 million per ticket.
Fantastic. I am actually living in Dubai now, so I'm your neighbor. Thank you.
With the graphics, how do you manage the load balancing of this? Is it strenuous on your system? How do you manage the graphics? Because it's obviously high intense graphics, so...
So WebGL, that is a rendering engine. So for the first time, you can put 3D in a WebGL engine. If you put 3D on a Framer or a Wix website, it crashes. So there's limitations. And now there's WebGPU, which allows for more rendering as well. So it's going to become very realistic. It's going to feel like a AAA game soon, and it's going to be, watch this space. It's going to be cool.
So we're missing our last startup for later, so because I see you have a question, 5 seconds for the question, 10 seconds for the answer, because we're already out of time.
It's a very quick one. We haven't heard about the team on your pitch. Tell us quickly about your team.
So since 2021, we are the pioneers of WebGL technology. We've been working with Fortune 500 companies. We've built a 3D editor used by Harry Potter and Lego. So we are the team for this. We're born to do this.
Brilliant. Please give him a round of applause. And if Anton from Lovable's walking by, you need to step up your design game, it sounds like. So good job. Excellent. Judges, finish up your notes there, and I'm going to introduce our next one to come on out. And with that, we're diving right in. Please give a huge round of applause. I'm going to ask that every single time, and you're going to work with me on that because it's so good for them to have your energy to come out on the stage. So I super appreciate the big round of applause. Huge round of applause for Marilis from Rallyo. Yeah, Team Estonia, bring it on.
Hi, I'm Marilis from Rallyo. Global teams are normal. Managing their devices, still chaos. Managing 500 remote employees for IT teams can cost over $3 million annually. IT teams struggle with spreadsheets, devices get lost, and good hardware gathers dust, while new employees are waiting for their equipment. RAW removes this complexity. From onboarding to offboarding, every device is taken account for. We connect clients with retailers all over the world. So everything happens actually automatically. You can now hire new employees with just few clicks. We started with a pay-per-use model for new clients to enter, but now we are building subscription tiers on top of that. So we are charging clients with ops for services they use in our platform. Our team consists of deep experience in logistics, marketing, development, and internal IT. We already serve 20 companies in UK, US, and Estonia. And our top clients, Verve, Pactum, they are saving hundreds of working hours every month. Total addressable market is 15 billion, so it's a big opportunity. 14% of knowledge workers are switching their work every year. So that means device movement. And we're here to make it automatic. We are raising 150K to expand to UK, develop our products further, and grow our network of partners. Thank you, I'm Marie-Lise, and let's make global device management effortless. Thank you.
How do you see the competitor market landscape with companies like Okta, where they have the ability to go in and you have the ability as a customer to shut everything down in seconds and take back your assets?
Can you put it closer a bit?
Okta, as a competitor, are you looking at what that competitor landscape is, or do you guys see yourselves integrating quite easily into a lot of these other platforms that just do one thing in your whole ecosystem?
All right, all right. Like for smaller companies, these big subscriptions aren't always needed. They have a lot of extra services that the companies need to pay for but actually don't use. That's why we started with the pay-per-use, because it's easy to lure new clients in. They can test the basic services out, and later on they see how much they actually need. Or like we're building new revenue streams.
How many customers do you have right now, and what kind of feedback are you getting from them?
20 customers right now, and our current is like super, super small. Once somebody comes, they won't stop using our service. Verif is super hooked, for example. But like the feedback, we'll be building on that. So if they see there's a problem here and there, we listen to them. We do a lot of client interviews.
So you're managing all of the platforms that they're subscriptions that they're paying for. So you're making cost savings everywhere in this system, right? So from a hardware purchase and all the software purchases, you're regulating and managing that. So you're controlling those costs. So is that part of your savings?
Yes, but the cost comes from procurement, from time. They need to deal with the customs, right? And this takes a lot of time and effort. IT team leads don't want to deal with the logistics overall. So that's the problem we solve.
Mine is about the personal use. So more and more, we bring in more of our personal devices into our work life, right? Mm-hmm. How is your company managing that, the personal devices for work?
Yeah, for some companies it's okay. But for example, like fintech, you can't come with your own device, right? But for different companies, there is different things that work. And when they can have their own devices, okay. But the security, not good, right? There are other problems that can happen with using your own devices. And overall, if you as a company are in charge of that, then you should be maybe a bit eco and greener. You don't know what happens with that laptop, but if you have the whole cycle, you will have a control and overview of your CO2 and so on and so forth.
One last question. How do you plan to scale your product and reach new clients or introduce new services?
Mm-hmm. Right now, we are building new revenue streams. May I say it out? I think it's quite ready. We have an auction platform, so companies can sell their devices to their own workers. This is also a thing that they struggle with. So one of these new things is that we just got ready with our estimator that estimates customs cost. So SEO a bit there, and you can get them to use it, and then from there on, they're already on our page.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Thank you. Please give Marilis a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? It's good so far, right? A little bit. Are we doing okay? Who's this your first Web Summit? Anyone? All right. First good day, right? This thing kicks ass. Yeah, I think so. I love it. So anyways, you're at the pitch stage brought to you by KPMG Private Enterprise. and this is all about basically a pitch competition where they can win some cool stuff and get lots of visibility. So it's 3 minutes speaking, 3 minutes questions. And we're off to our next one, which is Michael from VarsityScape. Please give Michael a huge round of applause and bring him out on our stage. Michael?
Hello.
Yeah, we can woo-woo, Michael.
So, Daniel just applied to go to the university in Nigeria, and he did so with 2 million other Nigerians. Unfortunately, at present, we can only admit 600,000 people into the university per year. What that means for Michael is he's going to stay home for 1 to 2 years unless he decides to go and do online learning. And this problem isn't specific to Nigeria. It expands the entire Africa. We have 43 million underserved people that are waiting to go to the university. So they go and do online education, online university. And the problem is, online education is broken. The educators we have in Africa still rely on disconnected tools. They use WhatsApp, they use Google Meet, things that aren't together. And the services they provide end up giving them less than 10% in completion rates. So that means it's simply not working. And that's why we created VarsityScape. It's one ecosystem, and it empowers the future of learning. On VarsityScape, we give you one tool with multiple extensions and endless possibilities. You can have live classes. There's a course builder, community chat, there's analytics and automation. And in Africa at present, there is a $3 billion opportunity. We have 150 million tertiary students, and each person pays $20 a year. That's $3 billion. And if we service just 10%, we're looking at $60 million in revenue for us to get. And this business strategy is simple, it's scalable, it is sustainable. We are already doing it, and we have a growth plan. It's 50, 500, 5,000. So we're going to start with 50 open universities. We will have 500 boot camps. We're also going to service 5,000 individual creators. It's a tiered strategy. And so far, we've already begun to accomplish so much. We have 140 plus academies already onboarded. We have 5,000 learners plus, and we have 3 successful cohorts that we have already completed. We made $70,000 in our pilot revenue. And in the next 3 months, we're going to double down. We're going to get 300 academies onboarded. We're going to train 10,000 learners, and our monthly recurring revenue is going to be $50K. And no other platform does this. Our competitors, we have Teachable, Seller. They do some, but not all. VarsityScape is the only one that's easy to use. It's a cohort learning platform. You have automation and the analytics. And our team, together, we have 15 years of experience in education. We've been in business, we've been in tech. We do this. And right now, we are raising $1 million. We're going to use these funds for our marketing, our partnership, our sales. We're also going to improve the product. It's great, but of course, everything could be better. And then we're projected to grow. We're going to scale to 1,000 high-impact academies. We will train 100,000 learners. So come and invest in Africa, empower the future of learning, and invest in the workforce. Thank you.
Woo! Perfectly on time. Look at that. Ready to go. I love it. Judges, over to you.
Very good pitch, thank you. And I mean, it's a real, as an African man, I know this is a very real problem to solve. I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
The first one is, what kind of degree do they get once they finish the learning process?
So if you remember, there was 50 open universities. Right now, we have MOUs, and we've already onboarded the universities in Nigeria, at least 2 of them. So we're partnering with them and integrating to make the courses they offer online. So it will be a shared degree. So the degree they get from VarsityScape is the same degree they're getting from the university, because we're backed by them and we have their authorization.
Okay, and quick second one. I mean, you mentioned that only 10% of students currently finish the online learning.
Yes.
And we know this is not only due to the platform not being good, it also, all that churn has to do with the fact that online learning, by itself is a challenge when it comes
Yes,
to
it
churn,
is.
right? How are you solving that problem? And how do you guarantee that you get 90% completion rather than 10?
So one of the problems that stops that is cohorts. So it's peer-to-peer. You're not going to be learning in isolation. You're in that classroom, but you can see your peers taking it. You have one-on-one with your teacher. It's almost like recreating the classroom experience where you're not walking alone. You're working with the class.
I really like the growth plan that you mapped out. What is the biggest hurdle that you have to cross for that to actually happen?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
I said I really liked the growth plan.
Okay, yes, sorry. The growth plan. So the major problem we have right now is the policies in Africa are currently shifting, especially the ones in Nigeria. So even when you get the 50 open universities, sometimes the policies shift. But we've been able to overcome that by meeting directly with the state governments and federal governments and appealing to them. And they've seen our dream, so we've already crossed that hurdle.
I want to ask, what are you doing to acquire new registrations, and how do you stimulate the community engagement?
Okay, so it's the same answer with the first one. Since we're partnered with the universities, everyone applies to universities. So there's a wait list. Imagine you do not get in, the university simply refers you to us. And then that means we have a constant stream of new applicants coming onto VarsityScape. Not because they couldn't get into the universities, but because the universities simply cannot accommodate, because they do not have the resources to take all the people that are applying.
Clear.
All right.
So universities also have a high dropout rate after, say, year 2 and year 3. So if you guys are working within this model, can you not take your community of people that have gone through year 1 and start to integrate them back in, so you actually sell yourself back to the university by moving your students back to year 2, year 3, because you've qualified them as actually wanting to learn?
Exactly. That is what we are currently doing. So learning never stops. Even if you drop out of the university, you can always go back. So when they've passed the first, the second year, we have programs in Nigeria called PeachWeb. So it shows that you have been able to write the exam, you've gotten the certificate. You could always apply back to go and do it physically in the university.
So you can create your platform as being front of the line. So that actually gets them into the university before any of the other students.
Exactly.
We are
It's
out
a
of time.
Good program.
Excellent. Thank you, judges. Howard,
Thank
fantastic
you.
job. Round of applause. And we continue on. I see a lot of you kind of lurking back there. There's plenty of seats up here. Come make a new friend. Come hang out. Who wants a new friend? Anyone? Anyone? See, come on. So here we are. We've got three more coming out. Please give a round of applause and welcome Howard from Alknoma onto our stage. Howard, come on out. Huge round of applause.
Wow, there's a lot of people here. Hi, judges. I'm Howard, and I'm the founder of Alknoma. So, just to start, I think there's some of the things that about the modern AI workflow, and that just really, really troubles me a little bit. So, imagine if your boss asked you to deliver a competitive analysis. What would you do? You would get like 3 different Google documents. You will copy your entire Slack chat history. You're going to copy paste them into your ChatGPT, interface, and you're going to do it like 20 times every single week. And that's one of the things that we've always felt that it's a bit off. It's not right because it's not true automation. And at Alknoma, we want to change that. So this is the thing about the productivity tools. People are deploying ChatGPT to their workflows, like workforce, and they're saying that this is going to increase everyone's productivity, but in reality, you need to be there to monitor, you need to be there to delegate, and you really need to just check if it's generating gibberish. And even worse is that when the data is missing, let's say Bob holds all of the data. Well, Bob is the mastermind of marketing research. And Bob is just going to, perhaps Bob is in a meeting, so he won't be back in an hour. Most of the workflow right now on the market will just fail spectacularly. It will hallucinate, it will generate gibberish, and we want to make it a little bit different. We want to say, well, because Bob is in a meeting, so we should check back an hour later. And that's really all what Alknoma is about. We want to build an agent that's able to be aware of the temporal gaps, to be aware of things that should happen later instead of now. So we are doing things a little bit differently. Like, people are really used to being like copy-pasting. They're like professional copy-pasters. They're really good with ChatGPT prompting, I guess. But we think agents should do it themselves. They shouldn't really be it shouldn't require user handholding every single step. An agent should really work multiple days because human works like throughout the week instead of just like waiting for that workflow to be delivered. So this is something that's already working. We've built an agent that really chat within your Slack channels. It really engages with your team users and really recognize the gap between all of your different solutions, all of your deep AI vertical solutions, and it's able to gather context on its own and figure all these things by itself. And we're seeing the problem becoming a little bit entrenched, so I think it's a time to jump in and really start learning the real automation that's not just text automation, but the real automation that really unlocks the productivity.
And there we have it. Perfect. He was flipping through a couple there. There's a few left, but that's okay. That was a very good pitch. Anything missing? Judges can ask you questions about that. On to you, judges.
Have you raised any funds now, and how do you plan to raise more in the future?
So we're currently backed by angels. So we've been actually using those resources to help us hire like some of the founding team members. Yeah.
Sorry, let me just say this again. So the individual user is going to interact with the agent,
Yes.
correct? Yeah. And then is it in test right now? Do you have?
Sorry?
Is it in beta right now?
We're now in closed alpha. We're piloting with clients.
Okay, so you haven't kind of had cold users like give it a go? Just curious what their reaction is to it.
That's what we're currently pushing. We are like monitoring signals and looking at the companies that potentially would be a great fit for this product, especially companies that have like time zone distributions. That's one thing with Spot is that if a team is really struggling with communication, this is something that really helps them to delegate those unnecessary tasks to like chatbots, and then they can actually align, have meetings, have conversations.
And obviously, I mean, very, very early stages, but what are your prospects of growth in the next 12 months? What does it look like for you guys?
Yeah, so I think we're talking about distribution of AI solution itself, and we're actually thinking of building a tool that's actually able to work with most of the teams that even if themselves wants to build those vertical AI solutions. And what we are positioning ourselves as the master planner that actually help you build the context and help you execute your vertical AI solutions. So if you're a team really interested in productivity, yeah, I think we can collaborate.
Have you created a timeline on how much efficiencies you've created for your use case right now? So one of your clients?
Yeah, so I think we estimate around like 20%. And also when we're actually looking at a lot of like, Sana, like a lot of productivity tool, I think one thing that's not being mentioned is that you're actually spending a lot of time training. And especially when the workflow crashes, you need so much time to actually fix those things. Whereas we are actually a very, very big like agent state that can actually handle a lot of things without crashing, because it's asynchronous by default. It doesn't block any workflow. So we can skip all of those training and actually get that 20%. Instead of saying that, well, most of the AI productivity is just 10, 15%, yeah.
I think somewhere in your use case, you really want to build in this metric, showing people where the productivity is, the numbers, the value. This is what's going to convince people to want to be in it and simulate how the background is going to accept it. So what's going on in the background, why are you more efficient, and how much time and money you're saving people?
Yeah, so I think we've built a lot of human-in-the-loop design. And it's actually showcasing exactly how the agent thinks. And it's fundamentally different from those reasoning models. We are building a thing we call agent graph state that actually plans the task in a really iterative approach. So you can actually understand, okay, this is what the agent is thinking. And the most fascinating part is it's working in runtime. So it actually iterates every single time it's executed. So, yeah.
That's good information to share in your pitch, too.
Excellent. Howard, great job. Please give Howard a round of applause. Thank you. Woo, Team Howard. All righty. How we doing? Doing okay? If you're wandering by, this is the pitch competition. This is where they can win the big bucks. This is where they can get featured. They can get on the big stage. This is a cool opportunity. They get 3 minutes to pitch, 3 minutes for Q&A. So come on in, grab a seat. There's a whole bunch in here you can squeeze into, and sit down for our last two fantastic pitches that we have going on here. Our next one that is coming out Olia from Scylla. She just told me that Scylla means power in Ukrainian, which I thought was pretty cool. So Slava Ukraini. Olia, come on out. Huge round of applause for Olia. Oh, I think we can do a huge round of applause for Olia. Here we are.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, judges. I'm Olia from Scylla, and we are building an autonomous prosthetic knee. Injuries, diseases, and wars, they add, unfortunately, to the overall number of millions of amputees worldwide. And the 3.6 billion prosthetic knee market keeps growing. And amputees have a choice. They have access to more affordable mechanical knees with limited safety and functionality. Or on the other hand, they have access to microprocessor knees, which are more expensive but still rely on preset modes. And they basically force users to adjust their behavior to the knee settings. And what if users want to walk and then suddenly switch to running and be spontaneous but also be safe? That's why Scylla Knee is affordable, but also features autonomous control to adjust to each user's needs. Our co-founder has over 12 years of experience in product engineering, and he launched 20 devices produced in 1 million batches, and he holds over 40 global patents. I'm focused on clinical partnerships with my background of prosthetic design and testing. Our advisors are brilliant in developing and scaling products in medical device, consumer products, prosthetics, and robotics. So back to the Scylla Knee. It feels intuitive to use. It's affordable. It keeps users steady when they are about to fall. And it returns the energy, basically recharging the battery with every step. Our ML model reads the sensor information about gait of each user in real time. And we built this knee to be software defined, basically making the hardware perform better with every software update. That's why among the competitors, we find our balance between affordability and extended functionality. We will sell the knees B2B2C through partner clinics with 40K selling units and 55% gross margin. And right now we are running trials in Polish and Ukrainian clinics, and the goal is to scale also testing in US and eventually enter markets. And we are not fundraising yet, but in March we will. So we'll be opening eventually the 1 million pre-seed round for 18 months runway for scaling the testing and clinically validate and up to 20 prosthetic legs and move to the certification to put us closer to entering the markets. Thank you so much for the attention.
Excellent. Fantastic, Olia. Judges, to you.
I'll go first. So first of all, I mean, congratulations. I think this is a huge problem you're trying to solve, right? I mean, you can see by the potential market. So, I mean, it's an honorable problem to solve as well. I want to hear a little bit more about the product itself. What makes it so unique? What makes it so different from what already exists? And, you know, and besides the day-to-day applications, how does this, you know, navigates between, like you mentioned, walking or physical activity, but tell us a little bit more about that. How does it adapt? Do I need to change it? Do I need to configure it? How that part works?
So what makes it different from the market at solutions is, first of all, it's both hardware and firmware. Hardware is different from the market at solutions because it's first of all motorized and it assists the body to restore the balance. It really helps to propel the body, which is really crucial for those who lost their muscles. And on top of that, we make it smarter by deciding how does it interpret what to do and at what moment. So basically, it's a two recognition model, two ML models. One is recognizing what the user is doing at the moment, because in our gate phases, we always have like certain signs which signify what is happening, and the other model makes sure that the right pattern is launching to assist the user in exactly what they want to do right now.
Really has the wow factor for the pitch. Looks great. I have a couple of questions. Where is it going to be made? And then do you sell direct into a healthcare provider, or do you sell direct to the consumer?
Oh, excuse me, I didn't catch the first part of the
Where will
question.
the product be made? Where will it be manufactured?
Oh, at the moment we are MVP stage, so it will be probably in every market where we want to operate. We want to have a closer manufacturing with local warranty services, because it's really crucial. We see for clinics who also decide where to order and source their components. And some components may be sourced from China if they cannot be done locally.
And then do you sell direct to healthcare providers or directly to the consumer?
Everything is happening through partner clinics, because they are the ones who know what is best for their patients, and so it's partnerships.
Right. I have a question. A wonderful product, but I just want to understand, where are you in the patent process exactly? And what happens once you get the patent? Do you have any plans to exit, for example, sell the company, or do you plan to continue modify the product and grow it?
So the patent, both for the hardware part and for the firmware, like control system, is being pending now, protecting us for 12 months right now in Ukraine, with the ability to choose in which countries we want to scale, and we assume it will be US first of all, some European countries. And first of all, we want to have the patent faster, because we want to progress in communication with potential distributors who express some interest in us, and eventually launch the manufacturing.
Great. I'd like to invite you to visit our booth, Startup Qatar, there, the blue one, and you can potentially apply for funding from our programs. We'd be happy to look at that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's a nice thing to hear at the end of a pitch. I like it. Thank you so much, Olia. Fantastic job. Thank you. Yeah, you can give another one. That's completely a good thing to do. And we come to our last pitch of this session. Please welcome Jacques from Beaky. Please give Jacques a huge round of applause to bring him out on our stage. Yeah, Jacques, woo!
Hi, I'm Jacques from Beaky. I think you would agree with me that adult education is kind of like the software of this world. Without adult education, people don't know how to guard against malaria. They don't know what crop to grow next year, cocoa or coffee. They don't know how to get back to civilian life after conflict, and that's really important. Yet UNESCO tells us that 3 billion people don't have any access to any form of adult education. And that's despite $50 billion being spent every year, just in aid money, on adult education. There is one thing which could really help, because it's better, it's cheaper, and all our clients are trying to implement it. And that's digital classrooms. Because digital classrooms, as I said, are better and cheaper. However, they don't work, because internet and power are bad or way too expensive for at least 2.5 billion people. We at Beaky solve this with the Beaky Box. The Beaky Box enables our learners to connect up to 40 of them at the same time with their smartphones simultaneously, without any internet or power. When it's connected to a PC from time to time, it'll update learner identities, learner progression, and contents. When it's disconnected, it's completely self-contained. We've already sold this to more than 50 clients, including large companies, Doctors Without Borders, and the ICRC. So if you have learners who are struggling to get online, or who have to travel to learn, or if you just would like to participate in our development, maybe as an investor, then please get in touch. Thank you very much.
It sounds pretty cool. What is the financials to it. What are your COGS? What is the cost of the product? What are you
Yep.
selling it at? What is
Okay.
the current revenue? Is it all POCs? Like, how are you expanding the product right now?
Yeah. Okay, so that's a lot of questions. This we sell at a list price starting at $900, and then $900, and then in fact there is a package called Beaky Plus, which is the full support hardware, software, as well as the crucial synchronization. Without that, it's useless to our clients. And that's $300 starting in year 2. This is exactly like an iPhone. $900 hardware, $300 every year. We're going to end this year with a revenue of 500K. And I forgot your other question.
The cost of goods, what's your COGS? What is the cost of the product to make it?
The cost. Well, overall, we have a 75% gross margin, meaning basically this is a numbers game. We just need to grow, and then it's going to be fine.
And is it enabled with a SIM card? Like, are you allowing that to connect?
It is offline.
No
it
matter
lives
what it's
offline. It doesn't speak 3G, 4G, or satellite. It's completely offline. It's a self-contained server with a powerful computer, up to 2 terabytes of storage, and a Wi-Fi antenna. A bit like the iPod 15 years ago. It lives offline. It's just connected from time to time with a cable to a PC to synchronize. That's it.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you connected it through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, that would give you your connectivity quicker if someone needed to make that upload. But I guess it works the same by a quick plug in and go.
Okay, next version, we'll do Wi-Fi. It's coming in 4 months or so.
Okay, perfect. No, it's very cool.
Thank you very much.
What are your plans to get to market?
So we are on the market. We have, so you asked, by the way, about the POC and so on. We have some POCs, but we've had, well, a very large Japanese corporation who ordered 25 in one go as a first order, so they trust us. We've had WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, signing a worldwide frame agreement with us. The preamble says, you are a reference solution for offline training. We've already been to Colombia, Rwanda. I'm going to Algeria in 2 weeks because of this. So the go-to-market is basically, currently what works is trade shows. We talk with a lot of people at the top of the funnel, and then in fact enough come further down that this is, the CAC to LTV is completely okay. But we can convert much more. But this is also, we will be able to scale this a lot. And then we also have some inbound via LinkedIn, via thought leadership and so on. So people end up writing to me, Jacques, I saw this. Can you please tell me a little bit about, a bit more about the Beakybox? And then, yeah, we get a conversation going. Currently, half of our revenue is referrals or upsells, and the other half is new clients.
And I think, I mean, it's very good to see the traction that you're already gaining. I mean, most of the hardware startups, the main challenge that they have is the whole logistics process. First of all, how to get the products where they need to get, and you're working with emerging markets, right? And the other one is, how do you do the maintenance? So how are you planning to handle this when you have, you know, enough traction for this to be a problem?
Yes. So basically, we built this ourselves in Geneva with standard off-the-rack products inside. It's completely scalable, the logistics. But basically, our clients, they are based mostly in the Northern Hemisphere, and they know how to get this down to the Southern Hemisphere where they intervene, where they work. So either they tell us to send it directly to Ghana, Tanzania, South Sudan, or whatever, or they'll tell us, okay, send it to us in Europe, and we bring it down. And then as for breakage, it's good to have an unbreakable product. We exist since 5 years. None of those has ever come back broken. Otherwise, we'll just replace it.
Excellent. I think we can give Jacques a round of applause. Thank you, Jacques.
Thank you very much.
Team Jacques. Yes. And to that point, we can give Hugh a huge round of applause. We can give them a huge round of applause. And we can definitely give all of our brave startups that pitched for this session a massive round of applause. Give them a huge round of applause. So that wraps this session of Pitch. If you come back or stay, don't move. I see you. Don't go anywhere. Stay for the next 10 minutes, because at 3 o'clock, we're going to do this again with 7 more startups. So stick around or come make a new friend and have a seat, and we'll get started in 10 minutes. Thanks.